bag that's over here. I feel like that I got one bag that's over here that I'm gonna take these over
Okay.
here.
Like there's a lot of yogurt in there, yogurt, all that stuff.
And you want these
Chanel,
ravioli?
you got a something coming, delivery coming through.
So these, can I give you all these?
Sure can.
That's that.
Let's switch. Y'all got ketchup. Oh.
Hello.
Hi, this is Sydney with Goodr. I'm just calling to let you know that I'm on my way with your free groceries.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. We'll be there shortly.
Okay.
Bye. With me being out of work for the first time in 15 years since I started working, the first person I called was Jasmine and, you know, told her, like, look, I'm out of work. What can I do for Goodr? I'm willing to do anything. And you know, there was no question. She just told me, show up at this time and this day and go from there. Yeah. Hi. Man, oh, okay. Can you get the pizza box?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, let me take your picture and then you'll be on your way. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Yeah, I've been laid off with no pay, and it's the scariest thing I've ever experienced in my life. I'm like, how am I gonna pay my bills? Like, what am I gonna do? So it's like I'm doing this to kind of float me by. I have money saved up, but it's like, it's really scary. So it's like I'm serving these people and I'm taking them stuff, but it's like I'm in need too.
When everything was happening with coronavirus, my biggest fear was, how will my business survive? Like, how am I gonna sell to customers? How am I gonna grow my business? How am I gonna really survive these times, right? And I'm pretty sure a lot of people felt that way, but I'm proud to say that the business has actually been thriving. So then I started getting tons of social workers that were reaching out to us, and they were saying, I've got 6 families, 8 families, 12 families. So we started working this entire Goodr grocery program off of the backs of these hardworking social workers that were bringing families to us and really doing the work. And that's the thing that is so exciting to me, because you see the school counselors and the social workers, and you can never say that they didn't care. I mean, because they were sending us so many families every single day of families that needed food, and they would put in there, this is a single father, he's blind, the mother is an amputee, this is a family of 9. Like, they would let us know just how great of a difference we were making in the lives of these families. And so from there, we really kind of were doing grocery delivery out of the Goodr office. And it was getting a little stressful because our office is not huge. So we had all these boxes of food all over our office floors. And I remember those first few nights, I would just be sharing on Instagram like 10, 15 boxes. And then we got up to like 50 a night. Then I was like, we're getting to be too big. And I knew that we needed greater space. Luckily, I got a phone call from Sarah Blakely, I was in a program with Center for Civic Innovation, and Rohit messaged me and said, hey, the people at Spanx want to talk to you about what you're doing. And I was like, okay, perfect. So I get on the call with Sarah Blakely herself, and she says, how can I support what you're doing? And I told her, like, hey, we're going out, we're buying groceries, we're boxing up meals, essentially, for families. And so Sarah Blakely said, I want to help you. I'm going to figure out what I could do, and I'll get back to you. So the call ends. Maybe 15 minutes later, she calls me back and is like, I'm going to do 1,000 families. I'm going to get $100,000 to you, and Michelle's going to take care of everything. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, that was like, first of all, I was equally excited about Sarah Blakely just calling me on my cell phone, right? Because I was like, I was really happy about that. Two, she is gonna do 1,000 families, and that made me really excited. But then it was like the investment that came with it, like the belief that I trust what you do, I've seen you do it, and I wanna help you do it even more. And so from there, I was like, okay, I can't do 1,000 families out of this office. And so reached out to people on text message, and someone said to me, why don't you reach out to APS? And I was like, of course, like all the schools are closed. So I reached out to the superintendent, and she's like, yeah, you should have told me. I would definitely help you get a school. And so like within 15 minutes, Dr. C messages me. She's like, I'm gonna have our COO of the schools call you, and we found a school for you. It's been closed for a few years, but it has everything that you need. The walk-in freezer, the walk-in refrigerator, lots of space, so I could socially distance the team. And the next week, we were in the fulfillment center, and we are now pushing out close to 300 families every single day. And that is amazing, because we started doing like 3 to 5. When we started this grocery program, I was very intentional in saying, like, let's get people meals. Let's get taco kits and taco seasoning and ground beef. And let's pay attention to their food restrictions and the things that they don't eat. So if they don't eat pork or they can't eat shellfish, and let's give them a lot of different options so that every box of food that a family gets from Goodr looks way different than they've ever received before. After Sarah Blakely supported, about a week later, I got a phone call from Quality Control Music, and P and Simone and Tamika and the entire team over there. I had been working with them since about 2016 with Black Celebrity Giving. We had done a giving boutique together at Old Navy, where we literally let kids come in and go back to school shopping for free. So I've been working with them for a few years, and he says, I want to help 1,000 families. I want to give them diapers and formula and anything that they need. And I was like, perfect. So then they came in with another 100,000, and so we were able to, with Spanx and with Quality Control Music, those two combined, we did about 2,100 families with their support.
So logistically, things just got turned up. Like we were doing, this is pretty much what we were destined or meant to do, but now we were just waiting for the opportunity to be able to do it. Because essentially we're doing the same thing we've always done. It's just in a different kind of form, if you will. Food insecurity is pretty much what we're doing now. We're just out buying the food versus getting surplus food. It's kind of just transition. But at the beginning, when it first hit, we're getting calls from everywhere. So like State Farm Arena, Mercedes-Benz Stadium, GWCC, clearing out walk-in coolers and fridges and freezers and things like that. I remember when we picked up from Mercedes-Benz Stadium, we had like a box truck. It was probably about 5,000, 6,000 pounds of food. And then I've had to have multiple trucks on the road picking up from all these different places. So it was like, it was actually like in a way exciting for me, because it's like, okay, now we really like, we moving things, because I like seeing like the numbers or what our capacity is. Like, okay, we're able to accomplish this, we're able to accomplish that. Because we've never had, because I just like challenges. So we've never had to do something this big before besides the Super Bowl. So it was just kind of exciting to see, okay, we're actually able to do this. So it just felt like, okay, sky's the limit. Like there's nothing really that we can't do. I mean, nothing's ever perfect, but we make it happen.
If you ever don't feel good, know that you don't have to like force yourself to be here. Obviously, really appreciate you guys. Today, all of the deliveries are in Atlanta. And what we're gonna do now is, a lot of you guys probably don't know what Goodr does BC, right? Before coronavirus, we typically just work with large scale businesses, get all their excess food, and then we donate it to nonprofits. And so we really kind of pivoted to really make sure that people get food, because that is like our mission is to feed more, waste less. And so I would encourage you guys, you know, definitely not to just work here, but to learn a little bit about what we do. So check out our website and really see who Goodr is on a regular basis. So we probably get 100 to 200 emails every day. So that's how many, that's just emails, plus we get phone calls, plus we get DMs on all the social networks. So everybody needs food, so we really want to try and figure out how many people we can serve. So you'll see when Marley gets here in about 20 minutes, most of these pickup, the deliveries today will be in central Atlanta. So our goal is to really double what we're doing now. So we're still needing, if you guys have more friends that want to drive for us, let me know, because we want to get to doing like 250 a day, so that in a week's time we could do 1,000 families. And then I brought lunch. So what I'm going to try and do is every Wednesday have like a family meal. And so today I got Jamaican food. So there's jerk chicken, there's brown stew chicken, there's some oxtails and some shrimp, and then there's some patties. So what I would say is, before we get on the road, since Marley's still on her way with the list, why don't everybody eat so we're really replenished? And then let's try and really get out close to 200 tonight if we can. As many as we can, and we'll just keep on pushing them out.
I think this last week, especially during this quarantine pandemic, has really like humbled me more than ever. Like really in the ground, like in, you know, feeding families of like 10 plus in small apartments. Also like the Goodr phone number is going to my line, so, or to my cell phone. So every day people are calling me, I'm hungry, I don't know how I'm gonna feed my kids, I don't know what I'm gonna do next. And the fact that they're calling us just shows that we're needed. We've become now that hotline for people that are hungry and that are in need, and they really feel like we could help them. I think that maybe really makes us like stand apart from other organizations, is like we're really that face to the name. They really can pick up the phone and call us, and we're really working to feed people. And also on the other end, the feeding and people, the emails and the texts, like I didn't know how I was gonna eat this week. You know, you guys helped me so much. My children, they haven't had good food. Also, like we're giving people access to good food. These are the people that slip through the cracks, and so it feels good to kind of be in there and help in the meantime. And then I hope when we get through this, we can have the seats at the table where we can say, okay, this is what we saw, like let's work together to make sure something like this never happens again.
Hello?
Hi, Ashley.
Yes.
Hi, this is Sydney with Goodr. I'm just calling to let you know that I'm on my way with your free groceries.
Okay.
Okay, I'll be there shortly.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay. You know, my first delivery last week, it was so heartbreaking. So I went to this apartment complex and I passed the complex 3 times. And the reason that I passed it 3 times is because I'm like, this can't be open. There were more than 80% of the apartments in the complex boarded up. I'm like, there's no way there's people living here. And I turned back around and I said, okay, well, let me try and see, because it keeps saying this is the address. But I see, you know, so many apartments boarded up. And I drive all the way to the back of the complex and I call the people, and, you know, sure enough, they were still living in there. And it was just horrible conditions around them, but the family brought me so much joy. They were just the cutest kids, and they were so happy and so excited for me to be there. And I'm just like, this is what it's really all about. Like, there's people living in these situations, in these conditions, and you just do not know what is going on behind closed doors and what people are going through during these times. It's just like, there's so many people suffering. And so the fact that we can provide groceries And not even just groceries, but just uplifting people's spirits, like, it's priceless. My wish is just, you know, with us doing these good deeds for other people, that these same people, you know, they open their heart, and maybe they don't have that much to offer, but maybe they're also, you know, paying it forward and doing good deeds for other people. You know, the families that we went to last night, it was such a strong community there. We had so many families, you know, it was late, but they were so afraid to open up the door. You know, they didn't know who we were, and they couldn't believe, like, what? You know, we have groceries, free groceries at that. And so we were knocking on some people's doors and they weren't opening up. And so the people that were knocking, or that were opening up the doors, once they did finally open up their doors, they were telling their neighbors and telling their friends, and, you know, like, really helping each other, like, oh, you know, these people have 4 kids and they have 5 kids, and is there any way you can take some stuff to them? And it was just like, this is what it's all about. Everybody coming together and everybody helping each other out during these times. It's honestly, it's really fulfilling. And then especially during this time with so much going on and then being out of work, it's really like getting me through these tough times, like still being able to do what I love. Because even when, you know, even before coronavirus, I was still doing a lot of volunteering with Goodr and Jasmine's other companies. And so it only felt right to still do it now because it just brings me so much joy.
Still to come on Growing Goodr.
Check this out, we about to do this getting ready. Check this out. Come on. Getting ready. We getting ready. I say, girl, don't you do that. I say, girl, don't you do that. I say, boy, don't you do that. I say, boy, don't you do that.